Hello, welcome to Makeup on Point. I'm Christy, and welcome to a day of Let's Talk with a Makeup Brush. We're not going to be talking movies or TV shows today. We're pretty much going to get a little personal today, and I kind of want to do a body paint that I've kind of had in my brain for a while now. It's kind of a mashup piece because I love mashing like two characters together. So let's get to body painting and maybe let's get into a little personal chat time. So I'll see you in the next slide. Okay, we're back. Got a tube top sort of on right now. It's really a tank top turned into a tube top. So I'm gonna start off by painting the mouth part because, okay, so what I want to mash up today is my favorite wrestler from WWE, Finn Balor, but from his demon form. And I want to mash that together with Pennywise, the clown from the movie It. I believe if I start off with the mouth part, since Pennywise has all that extra teeth going on, and I want to incorporate the demon tongue with the Pennywise teeth, I think that's going to take the longest time. So we're probably going to start off with mapping out where the tongue is going to go first, and then see where the teeth land. Yeah. Alright, voiceover Christy taking over now. Now I'm just taking some brown eyeshadow on an angled liner brush. I'm just mapping out where I want the tongue to be and just a rough shape of what I want it to be. I'm using reference photos from the Demon Finn Balor look, and at least if I use eyeshadow beforehand, if I want to change it up, I can easily wipe it away and continue on. Now I'm doing this look as just something for myself after the excessive Halloween Makeup on Point season that I did have, that I was kind of struggling through, just going through some bouts of sadness, but I pushed through it, did some self-journaling, and I just kind of got myself out of it in my own way. I'm not good with, speaking on the feelings a lot, so this is probably as personal as you're gonna get from me at the moment. But let's get back to our makeup. So as you see here, I'm painting on the teeth, and I'm starting off with just laying down just the first row of teeth. And as we know, Pennywise has a bunch of teeth inside his mouth. So I wanted to layer the teeth on top. So I started off with that first layer first, and then I started painting in between each tooth, creating different sizes of teeth in between each one. And then later on, I actually go overlapping the teeth and just paint over it. It's a lot of time and patience you definitely need to do this. You definitely have to keep an eye of where each tooth starts and the other one begins. Now once you got all your teeth down on your chest, it's time to do it on your face. Now I'm only doing it like on the lower half of my face and pretty much doing the same overlapping effect. But I'm starting with one big tooth and I'm pretty much going back and forth from a small tooth to a big tooth just so I can see where I can overlap each tooth for my multiple teeth Pennywise type demon look for this. Again, it takes a little time and patience, and just gotta keep your eye on where each tooth starts and stops. Now some shading. Now I'm starting off with a light brown eyeshadow, and I'm just pretty much shading just the bottom of each tooth very lightly. So I'm pretty much packing it all on the bottom and blending it upwards, keeping the tip of the tooth very white. Now what the shading is going to do is pretty much add more dimension to the teeth instead of just being a flat white tooth on my skin. I just want to give it more of a 3D effect. At first right now it's going to look very messy and muddy together, but it'll all come together later. You gotta trust the process. Now I'm going in with an even darker brown eyeshadow on a flat brush and really enhancing just the bottom of each tooth. And with this method, you're actually going to be able to pretty much separate between each tooth, and you'll be able to tell which tooth is behind the other tooth pretty much. And it's just going to separate everything and make things a lot easier to see now. The sheer patience of my artwork here. This makeup probably took me about 3 to 4 hours to complete. But again, it was a little treat for myself after what I've been through and pushing myself mental health wise. So sometimes you gotta use makeup therapy just to help you feel a little better, guys. Here in my mouth area, you'll notice the difference between the shading, easier compared to the chest area, and you see how it really goes together, shading the teeth that are behind the other teeth. So pretty much the back teeth would become off a little bit darker since they would have more of a shadow on them since they are behind the bigger tooth. Whoo, this part. Now this part you're gonna need a lot of patience with. So I mixed together some colors to get this like purpley pink gum color, and I'm pretty much going to outline every single tooth with this color. Now this is where you're going to see where all that shading is going to come forward now with the gums, and it's going to take patience because you're going to take smaller brushes and try to get that color in between each and every tooth, no matter how small the area. Oh, this was fun. So much fun. You could also use this paint color to pretty much define each point of the tooth if you messed up a little bit. It'll just paint over it and just really define each and every point. Now for my upper mouth area, I just kept it on the top of the teeth for the gums because we're gonna pretty much fill in everything else with black very soon. Now taking some black face paint, I'm going to outline the bottoms of each tooth on my upper mouth area. That is going to define every point to each tooth, and then I'm going to fill in the rest to create that empty shadow that you would have in an open mouth. Then I decided to take my eyeliner pen and I'm actually going to outline each and every tooth. Now this is really going to make all that shading really pop out. And don't forget to outline every single tooth that you painted on your chest as well. Again, patience is a virtue, my friends, when doing this makeup. Now that all your teeth are outlined, take a deep breath, and we are going to start working on the tongue now. So we're just going to take some red face paint and we're going to fill that whole tongue outline that you just created earlier. Taking a darker red paint, I'm just going to outline the back of the tongue and pretty much just outline the entire tongue just to create a shadow, just so it looks more 3D. And in this area is where the tongue is curling outside of the throat, so you're really gonna enhance that darker shadow there now. Now here I mix it with a tiny bit of black face paint into that darker red, and I'm pretty much putting the middle indent of the tongue. I'm just gonna pretty much create that line and then slowly blend it back and forth with the red paint and the darker red paint. I start adding more and more black face paint mixed in just so I can really create that darker indent within the middle of the tongue. Then I start taking straight black and really started shading the underneath of the tongue where it curves and start really creating that dark shadow the tongue would cast over the teeth. Then I start using that white face paint to start adding highlights for any slobberiness you would have on that tongue, because you know it's quite moist of a tongue, so it would cast a white sheen on top. So at this point you're pretty much going to go back and forth from highlighting it and shading it, highlight and shading, and just until you see fit and how you make your tongue. I even take that white to subtly highlight around the whole outline of the tongue. It kind of just gives it an added pop to everything. Now taking some black eyeshadow, I'm going to further darken and shade to create all those shadows again that the tongue would cast over the teeth and any shadows I see fit anywhere else. Before I continued shading, I decided to fill in all the rest of the black spaces of the mouth first before I do anything else. Then I continued to outline the entire tongue in the black face paint so I could better shade everything else. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost done. And now I'm going to take that red paint before and I'm going to create the lips for this demon clown look. Now I'm pretty much just going to outline the entire bottom in any shape I want for the lips, and then I'm going to outline the top as well into a more Pennywise lip shape. And let's not forget to drag that red paint up to our eyes to our signature Pennywise clown eye lines, whatever you want to call them. Just the Pennywise lines, just paint them on. I also decided to paint them on a little bit messy to fit that Finn Balor demon smoky look he usually has for his face. So it's just a little mashup right there, and you just messily paint them on. Now taking your black eyeshadow, you're pretty much going to create the shadow the lips would have over the teeth, just to really separate the red from the teeth, so it actually looks like you have lips and your teeth are actually inside your mouth. So yeah, so you're going to place that black eyeshadow on the edge of it, and then you're going to blend it inwards to create that shadow and blend it in. And don't forget to do the same thing on your bottom lip as well. Alright, last step. Now you're just going to take your black face paint and you're pretty much going to outline everything else. You're going to outline the mouth, you're going to outline your bottom lip, and you're going to outline everything on your face. Now once you got everything filled in, you just gotta put on your contacts, get your wrestling gear on, and you're ready to take that ring. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this makeup transformation of me into Demon Balor Pennywise. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. As always, be kind to others, love yourself, stay safe and stay healthy, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!